Alright, hello everybody and welcome to my first ever video on this YouTube channel. I have recorded videos before, post them up, but I kind of want to stretch away from the old content I made and start making new content. So, this video is going to be talking about Marvel Rivals versus Overwatch and, well, what it is and the pros and cons between both games and, well, maybe, and like, is Marvel Rivals going to ever somewhat kill Overwatch in the future when it comes out, or is Overwatch gonna always be the best 6v6, 5v5 shooter that has ever existed since 2017, 2016-ish? So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out, and we're gonna be talking about some pros and cons. I know if the audio might sound a bit different throughout parts of the video because I kind of recorded some, kind of scrapped some, and this is my like retake on the intro. So yeah, so I hope you like it. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to first be talking about Marvel Rivals first. For most of the video, it's going to be Marvel Rivals, and that's about it. Some of it will be Overwatch, but not a lot of it, because I'm mainly going to be talking about Marvel Rivals, because someone that has 244 hours on Overwatch, and it's been around for a while, yeah. So we're going to be talking about that, and then, yeah. So let's get into Marvel Rivals pros and cons first. First pro I want to be talking about is the game. It looks fresh. It looks really, really, really good. It looks something unique. It looks cool. It's different than most games. It's kind of like a comic booky feel, somewhat. It's like cell shaded, somewhat cell shaded-ish, and then the destruction, which is Pro 2, or Pro 2. The destruction of this game. It's like, oh, you shoot a wall, you shoot something, it kind of just explodes, or puts a hole in it, or something like that. It's really, really cool. But at the same time, I feel like if the maps are so big, and I don't know, I haven't played Payload, I only played one game mode, that if they're so big and they can't really, I don't know, a lot of things can't comprehend it, which this is Con 1. It's not easy accessible. I'm not going to be talking about the Twitch codes, so the Twitch codes, obviously, is for content creators to give out to people for, well, for wanting to play the game. You watch an hour of the content creator, you get to play the game. The thing with the codes is you can't really get them. The only reason I got a code is because, well, one of my friends was a content creator that is in the thing. He gave me a code to try it out, which I only tried out for 6 minutes, and I have 3 hours on the game. Trying to figure out why I can't run the game. What is making me not be able to play it? Later on, figured it out, just even though Steam said, well, yeah, your PC can run it. It's a better graphics card, all that. It still can't run the game. I even have the recommended for it, and you need higher than recommended. You need it to be better than the recommended. And, well, better than recommended. What? Why does it need to be better than the recommended specs for the game? Which I feel like they need to change that. They need to change it from being able to, well, have to have, like, specs from the better, like, having to have higher specs from recommended on PC. Like, that is not the best. It's not easy accessible right now. It's not on old gen, which if it wants to compete with Overwatch, it needs to be on old gen. It needs to be able to be played on old gen and new gen, because Overwatch can. It was made on old gen. That's the like it was even on Switch. Overwatch 2 can play on Switch. Like what? Like currently Overwatch 2 can play even on Switch. Not good, but it can do it. Not good, but it can do it. It's able to do it. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, new game. People don't have old gens a lot and all that. I have old gen consoles. I have every old gen console: PlayStation 4, Xbox One from 2013, Nintendo Switch. The reason I don't have it upgraded is because I have a PC. I don't need to upgrade, but If it's not an old gen for people that can't upgrade, if it's and they want to try it out but they can't. But then they're like, oh hey, it's like Overwatch. Let's try out that. That could potentially lose a lot of people from playing the game. And also, I hope they change this, please. I have someone that I talked to named Jasser. He's at Oceania. He cannot play the game. There's no Oceania, and it's very region locked currently. You can play it in America and I think the UK. No maybe the UK. Don't quote me on that. But you can't play in Oceania. It's not possible to. It's kind of sucky. You can't play the game because I know this guy. I've talked to him a couple times. He really liked watching the streamer play. He really liked it, but he can't play it. He can't even get a code to play it if he even want to try to, because the codes don't work for Oceania. There's no Oceania codes, which is stupid. I know the game's in beta and stuff, but if they don't change that, that's gonna lose a lot of customers. Too many people, and I don't know if the game's gonna be free. I think it's gonna be free. I don't know. I'm not I'm not in the content creator program that just they tell you everything and stuff. So I cannot tell you if what it's mainly about. I've just seen people play it. I've played it for a bit. So yeah. Another con about it is they're kind of copying Overwatch with their characters. I know a lot of the characters do like some of them make sense for them to copy, but when it's blatantly copying characters, it don't even make sense to have these abilities. Like Starlord, one of Starlord's abilities, it's the same as Reaper's Death Blossom Ultimate. He has Blinks like Tracer. He has aimbot assault rifle like soldiers. Like Scarlet Witch. She has this suck ability with her hand, and she can like have this like phase dash, just like Moira. If they spent time reworking the characters and well, you know, changing them around a bit so they're not really like Overwatch. Gameplay wise, it's cool. It's a unique idea with the destruction and all that, but then also how can you how can you balance it out so it's unique gameplay with like the maps and stuff, but but with unique gameplay with characters. Overwatch doesn't really have unique maps, gameplay and stuff, but they have unique characters. That's all different in their own way. But then when it comes to Marvel Rivals, unique maps, but not unique characters that go based with the game. There are some, I will say there are some that are really cool. Like Namor, he's cool. He's all unique. We got, I think Namor is actually the only one that's somewhat unique to their character. Other ones are just almost the same. But then, um, another pro to the game is it's Marvel. People know it more by just seeing the characters like Groot, Thor, Iron Man, Black Panther, Hela, Scarlet Witch. You know those characters because you grew up with them or you've seen them somewhere. It's the mainstream media. You know what they're from. With Overwatch, which is kind of bad, you don't. You gotta play the game. You know like two characters because well, they were popular. You've seen them on YouTube. Tracer. That's probably it. But a con to having those characters is you can't do stories with them. You can't like have a story. With Overwatch, you can. Overwatch every 30-something characters has a story. They all have unique, different backstories that could work for Vishkar, a company that tried to make the world better, but suck at doing it and like more corrupt than trying to make it better. Former Overwatch agent. After the UN declared them as a terrorist group, they stopped being a former Overwatch agent. Talon, the terrorist group, the actual terrorist group, actually form those that switch sides. And there's even missions. They've had missions since Overwatch 1, but they don't come back, which kind of sucks. There are missions still. There's like 3 missions. I have them. I played them. They're really good. But they canceled it because of the poor sales and they didn't live up to what they were going to say. That's one thing Blizzard isn't good at. at all. They don't manage to do this. And then, okay, another con about Marvel Rivals is they're releasing all these new characters. And yes, the game's in beta, so they're gonna release new characters. But the bad thing about it being in beta and releasing characters is you're giving people's hopes too high for when the game actually comes out. That, well, you're not gonna be able to, how do I say this, get new characters that often. There's a lot of bugs with the game. There's a lot of stuff like that that need to be focused on before adding more characters. Then, yeah, adding characters, it's a cool idea, but yeah, can't add too many. I know they added even 2 characters, and they're gonna add Doctor Doom and all that, but they're adding characters before they can fix the graphics and all that issues. Overwatch, the game is fine. New bugs do come out when they try to fix a character, all that, but they fix it soon. They add a new character often, and yeah, I know a new character's coming out this month named Juno. She's really unique. She can fly in the air. She's a support. She's cool. She's a unique character. But then, how are they going to make these characters unique? I know Overwatch does a really good job at it, but if every character comes out that's just almost a copy, isn't it just Overwatch? Isn't it just the same game, but Marvel? And another con about this game is how they're going to do collabs. Oh, like Overwatch and other games, they do collabs often. Overwatch just collabs perfectly. They did the Transformers collab almost identically. They almost did it perfection. There's only a few things they could have done better. Was add a few more characters, which they said they were, but they decided to scrap them because they didn't really know how they were going to work. And skins, how are they going to do skins? Like, I know there are some really cool skins that I've seen already in the beta. Are they going to be better to use? Are they going to have, like, change the hitbox too much? Are they going to... Because some skins, like that bulky, that Steampunk Iron Man, he was a lot more bulkier than the other Iron Man. For some apparent reason. I don't know why. Also, another bad thing about Marvel Rivals is there's no role queue. So, like, when you go into a game, which I hope they add this, you don't know if there's gonna be a new... If you're gonna even have support that game. You don't know if there's gonna be a character that you can rely on, because a lot of the supports are kind of more overpowered than tanks and damages, which it shouldn't be. I don't know how the supports work in this game. I don't know if they're supposed to be secondary supports, like, oh, you have a team, but you can decide it here or not. It just depends. It's 6v6 as well. You're gonna hear me say, oh, well, Overwatch was 6v6. Yes, it was 6v6. I loved Overwatch 6v6. Thing about Overwatch 6v6 is you don't know which, even if they add role queue, you don't know if a role is going to be picked or not. With it now, you don't have to worry about a role being picked, and that's what they didn't have to worry about. But with roles getting added, when it did get added in Overwatch, people didn't get in matches that quickly. If you wanted to play damage, you'd have to wait 7 minutes to get into a game. Which, yeah, that's bad, because no one was picking the tank. If you don't want to play a role because it's not meta, why would you? That's something bad if they do add role select. Because if they add it, then, well, what? What are they going to do? What is there to do to make it, well, functional? What is there to do to make it work better than it did previously? I'd say, to make it work better, you add role queue, you make it 5v5, like Overwatch is. Okay. 6v6 was good enough, but do I feel like 5v5 just works out better? Yes. Is it gonna be the end of the world that a new Overwatch clone comes out that is almost like it and that could compete? Yes. Now that I've yapped about Marvel Rivals a bit too much, it's almost like half the video. Let's talk about Overwatch. The biggest 6v6 team game since 2017. Came out in 2016, it wasn't that popular. whew, as it had a downfall. I remember playing it back when I was in its peak about 2019, when 2019, 2020, when it was really good. And well, now it's still good. I have 240 hours. I still play it daily. But but at the same time, is Overwatch going to be able to still keep its pace, bring back the OG stuff, make it good to kill Marvel rivals? That to kill Marvel rivals, you would have to do a lot. One, which I feel like already Overwatch is on the pacing of this, is keep a good game that's the same premise, just add a few things back. I like the idea of them adding back 6v6 because they said they would. I like that idea, but I don't think it's really necessary for 6v6 to be back because then also they're gonna have to rework a lot of characters. A lot of characters now are mainly HP is a lot more and all that. It's that's the good thing. And then that's like the good thing. If they bring back 6v6, it would be peak Overwatch probably again. 2 tanks, 2 support, 2 damage. All that. The pros about Overwatch is it has some story missions. Some. I said some with a big emphasis on some. Some are from Overwatch 1 events that you can't play anymore that are physically not possible to unless you find like an old version of the game and manage to download it. Or you, well, get the invasion pack. The invasion pack is $10. You get 3 of the campaign missions, a skin, and 1,000 coins, which isn't that bad. The skin is kind of mid. It's just a black skin of a skin we already have with a biker helmet on it. It's kind of mid, but it's okay. The story is really good for Overwatch. It's a really good story of Overwatch versus No Sector and Talon. Really good. No Sector men want to take over the world because they want to free Omnics from the pain of being getting getting like fought in the middle of the streets of humans because humans are racist to robots. I don't know why, but yeah, that's Overwatch in its gameplay wise. It's really good. The cons of it being really good is well a lot of cons. One, it can kind of get boring. The same I know every single map in Overwatch by heart. Give me the name of the map and I can tell you exactly probably what it looks like. That's the bad thing. There's not a lot of maps. There was a lot of different game modes and a lot of different maps in Overwatch 1 and they kind of took those out. There was a whole other game mode that never came to Overwatch 2 that had 10 more maps. 10. It's still in Overwatch 2, but it's not in its normal quick play game mode. Another thing that I feel like Marvel Rivals should do, add something to gain from competitive. Overwatch has, well, gold and jade guns. They add a new color every year. Cool. But with them adding a new color every year, there comes the reset. Your comp points turn into legacy comp points that you can buy anything with. That's the one issue with that. Should Marvel Rivals do that? No. Should they add something to get from playing competitive? Yes. Other than like something for your character, something for the character you play, and stuff. I don't know what the Marvel Rivals competitive scene looks like. I don't know. I'll have to ask like one of my friends about that. I'll probably ask my friend and see what he thinks about it. But it feels like as of now, I can't really talk much about Overwatch because I've kind of already talked about most of it before. But it just feels like one, if Overwatch wants to compete with Marvel Rivals, they need to step their game up. And I know Blizzard will. Some people say they won't, but they will. Because they're stepping their game up with their cards, they're stepping their game up with their Diablos. They're going to step their game up with their Overwatch. Now that we're getting 6v6 back, after not having it for 3 years and stuff, we finally are going to get it back. Well, I want to say this is probably the end of the video. I might go live tomorrow night because I have D&D tonight, but, you know, who knows. gonna probably start uploading videos more often about just random topics I find interesting in the gaming space to talk about. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Goodbye. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. If you want to keep seeing videos that me yapping about random things with gameplay in the background, go ahead. Thank you for watching. Peace out. And, well, good night, or good evening, or good morning.